Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election that was held on February 25, 2024, and the result controversially announced on March 1st, 2023. And that result was challenged at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, which ruled on September 6th and validated the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The petitioners, not satisfied, headed to the Supreme Court, where all eyes of Nigerians, and the international community are fixated now. While all eyes are on the Supreme Court to determine who actually won the 2023 presidential election, Nigerians were also fixing their eyes at the courts in Chicago, Illinois, where former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and presidential candidate of the APC, of the PDP, was seeking for evidence to prove that the Chicago State University certificate that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission was forged. Now, on Saturday, September 30th, the court in the United States, presided over by Judge Nancy Maldonado, gave the order approving the earlier order by Judge Gilbert, Magistrate Judge Gilbert, to the effect that all the academic records of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in possession of Chicago State University should be made available to Atiku Abubakar. Now, this information has been circulating and trending all over Nigeria and indeed the whole world. It is in the light of this, especially as Nigeria is marking its 63rd independence anniversary, which is an occasion to celebrate or mark Nigeria's independence from Great Britain. This occasion coincided with at a time when all Nigerians are talking about Atiku Abubakar's Tinubu's certificate from Chicago State University. So one of prominent Nigerians that have intervened in this matter is Osita Chidoka, Chief Osita Chidoka, former Minister of Aviation and former Commandant General of Federal Road Safety Corps. In his statement on 1st October, in celebration or marking Nigeria's independence and reflecting on the verdicts from the courts in Chicago, Chidoka said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should resign if Chicago University certificate he presented to INEC was found to be forged. And he also blamed the institutions of the country for not finding out about this issue of Tinubu certificate, laying it to rest in Nigeria instead of taking it abroad that Atiku Abubakar did to now unravel the whole matter. So he was saying that this matter ought to have been settled ever since it had been rearing its ugly head over the years. Now it has become an international embarrassment to the country. Now, according to him, I'm quoting him now, He said that as a nation, we have a full retinue of staff at the Department of State Security, the National Intelligence Agency, the Independent National Electoral Commission, the Embassy of Nigeria with full complement of staff in Washington, D.C., Nigerian judiciary that have variously ruled on matters concerning President Tinubu's academic qualifications. Yet, we cannot have a definitive conclusion about whether he has the academic qualifications he claimed he had or not. Disgraceful that all the aforementioned institutions allowed a man to be sworn in without definitive statements about his qualifications is a national tragedy. For 23 years, the issue of President Tinubu has been a recurring decimal in our national equation. Under his reign, under his reign, a current U Corps member is serving as minister, and people under investigation by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission and made public are sitting in the Federal Executive Council, and they all pass through security screening. The office of the President of Nigeria is so important, both in its moral authority and its strategic importance to our national security and safety, that nobody who has possible blind spots that can make him or her a potential asset for foreign intelligence or governments should be allowed a mile near that office. This should be a primary burden on all our national institutions. Legal technicalities and silence by state institutions should be deemed high treason. It highlights my previous statement that an institution, that a constitution, it highlights my previous statement that a constitutional amendment to finish all electoral cases before the assumption of office is now a matter of urgent national priority. The current disgraceful proceedings against the Nigerian president in a foreign court under election petition matters are damaging to our collective moral and legal standing as a people. If it turns out tomorrow that our president presented a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission, Nigerians will bow down their heads globally in shame. On the other hand, if it turns out that his certificate is genuine, again our reputation as a people is still in tatters because of the failure of the national institutions to perform due diligence no matter who is involved. On both counts, it reinforces global perceptions and prejudice against Nigerians. We all bear the burden. A forged certificate finding leaves President Tinubu in a vulnerable position, morally and legally. As he did not present primary and secondary certificates to Independent National Electoral Commission, a forged Chicago State University certificate makes him unqualified to stand for the office of the president, as he does not possess the minimum qualification in section 131D of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Of course, the next issue is the case of perjury, the presentation of false documents under oath. How the Independent National Electoral Commission accepted a university degree without the qualifying certificate will continue to be a national mystery. A language in our electoral legislation to forestall such obvious infraction is required. The decision of the district court and the whole proceedings is not a moment of triumphalism, but a sober moment of introspection. It is a moment when, as a nation, we ask ourselves, what are our national values? Who or which institution should have ordered the full investigation of the questionable certificate? Considering that he did not present a primary or secondary certificate, should our courts be concerned with technicality of the tendering process of the Chicago State University certificate or the disgrace and global moral damage a forged certificate will wrought on Nigeria? Now, this statement by Chief Chidoka is quite a lengthy one. This is just an excerpt from it, but I decided to end it in this particular last sentence because this is very critical and crucial to the matter before the Supreme Court. So I want us to look at this particular section of his statement that caught my attention. He said, considering that he did not present a primary or secondary certificate, should our courts be concerned with the technicality of the tendering process of the Chicago State University certificate or the disgrace and global moral damage a forged certificate will wrought on Nigeria? Now, Chidoka himself, a lawyer, has brought the issue of technicality. What should the Supreme Court be after? Is it technicality of the way that the certificate from Chicago State University was presented, or when it was presented? Already you heard that in a previous video I had talked about the fact that Babatunde Ogala, a lawyer of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was already celebrating that the documents that Atiku is going to collect from Chicago State University is useless because it will no longer be acceptable. That is the kind of technicality that Chidoka is talking about here. Are they going to say, even in overwhelming, if there is overwhelming evidence that the certificate was indeed forged, are the Supreme Court judges going to dismiss the matter on the ground of technicality? That is what Chidoka is saying here. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? It is a very pertinent question he posed here. What are they going to do? Are the Supreme Court going to be concerned with technicality, the way that Babatunde Ogala, senior advocate of Nigeria, the lawyer of Tinubu, is claiming that whatever document that Atiku is bringing to the Supreme Court, the time for that had passed, that it will not be acceptable? Is that what the Supreme Court are going to do? Or they are going to look at the facts, as Chidoka talk about, the disgrace and global moral damage a forged certificate will wrought on Nigeria, and therefore accept it and do the needful? It is a very important question that Chidoka asks in this statement, because this statement is loaded with a lot of implication. This, where I ended, this is a lengthy statement, is loaded. What will the court do? Are they going to buy into technicalities, as Babatunde Ogala wants them to do, and therefore worry about how it was presented, when it was presented, the evidence? Or they are going to look at the disgrace and global moral damage a forged certificate will wrought on Nigeria for a very long time? Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high. I recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.